Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, it really does just feel like glorious victory in so many different ways. After this 2024 election, it feels like we were vindicated on so many different fronts. We've got the mainstream media collapsing before our very eyes, the Democrats picking up the pieces after everything fell apart, and it seems as though we're winning with the majority when it comes to the most important thing, culture and driving the conversation. From 2016 to now is a completely different world. It seems like back then we were heretics that needed to be shunned from society, but now a lot of the stuff that we've been saying is basically leading the conversation. It feels like we are winning on the ideas and people are finally getting it, and thankfully enough that includes Joe Rogan, who's aligned on us with his huge audience on so many of these issues, and this has created this environment where Joe Biden and his ragtag crew of Democrats are getting exposed like never before. Oh well, would you look at that, another liberal hypocrisy. They said Donald Trump couldn't be trusted. He was unfit for office because he would start World War III. But now look at Joe Biden here, just casually trying to start World War III right as the office transitions back to Trump. Let me show you guys this clip that's currently trending here with Joe Rogan. The masses are waking up. Let's talk about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's just start off with the clip.
Zelensky says Putin is terrified. F you, man. F you people. You people are about to start World War III.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Russia fired a missile today.
I feel
Yeah,
like
they fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time ever. It's the first time one of those has ever been used.
that's insanity.
F***ing insanity, because those intercontinental ballistic missiles can have nukes on them. This one didn't, but if it does, the whole world changes. And it changes because of the military-industrial complex, and it changes because of the money that's going to Ukraine, and it changes because the outgoing president or whoever the is actually running the country has decided to do something insane.
Yeah,
Insane. And we're all sitting there watching it, and people are cheering it on. CNN was saying, like, finally. See what their headline was about Zelensky about Biden giving Zelensky the ability to use long-range missiles. U.S. made long-range. It's not like nobody knows where they came from. It's not like nobody knows we've been funding this. It's a proxy war. The whole thing is insane. It's insane. Come to the negotiation table. Sit down. Work this out. Stop killing everybody. U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles. So what did they say? Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying that it was a good thing, which I think is how? How is the left gone so far crazy that they think it's a good thing to launch missiles?
You know, I have to say it, Joe Rogan nailed it. He hit it on the head. What we're seeing is nothing short of astonishing. And the more unfortunate part, what we're seeing is incredibly dangerous. The shock and frustration that we've seen from Tucker Carlson and now from Joe Rogan as the latest updates come in, honestly mirror exactly what I've been feeling. The same shock, the same frustration. With what is it, 5.5 weeks to go, Piss Pants Joe decides now is the perfect time to authorize the use of American-made long-range missiles in Ukraine. Missiles that say Made in America on them, now being sent over and approved to strike deep into Russian territory. You know, one thing is painfully obvious this morning, that what we're doing here is not just a little bit of assistance. This is direct involvement in a war without congressional approval. And we're seeing the escalation of that war. They don't want this thing to end. That's the message that Joe Biden is sending me. They know Trump's coming in and he's not playing the same game, and so they're trying to send a message. They're trying to continue to destabilize the region. They want another one of these endless wars. And I think that's become plainly evident to the average viewer. It's the truth that we've been pointing to forever, but nobody's been listening. I guess what really woke people up was Democrats in the previous election teaming up with the Cheneys.
And I also want to thank your father, Vice President Dick Cheney, for his support and what he has done to serve our country. Every endorsement matters, and this endorsement matters a great deal, Liz, and it carries a special significance.
Wow, who would have seen that one coming? The Democrat Party that campaigned with Liz Cheney as their forefront partner in the Republican Party, well, they're now showing their true colors, what their actual intent was. The same politicians who were previously on a party that was supposed to be anti-war are now total war hawks. 6 weeks left to go go, and they just couldn't help themselves. They had to bomb another country. You know, it really shows you where their priorities are. And just to make matters worse while it's all going on, it seems almost as if they're rubbing it in, taunting you with some of the statements they're making. As Joe Biden approves long-range intercontinental missiles, he also showed up at a public event and said this.
One thing I've always believed about public service, and especially the presidency, is the importance of asking ourselves, have we left the country in better shape than we found it? And tonight, I can say with all my heart, the answer to that question is a resounding yes.
Oh, he's confident that he left the world better off today than it was when he took office. Is this guy a lunatic or what? He's escalating conflict abroad, plunging the world into chaos after leading 4 years of Democrat disaster policy, plunging Americans into poverty, a historic rise in crime. You know, the list goes on and on and on. And then with 6 weeks to go, he escalates conflict abroad and then says, "Didn't I make your life so much better?" Holy frickin' moly. What a betrayal, what an insult. And that's really what this is, friends. It's a betrayal of the American people. Democrats are proving once again to everybody that they're not the party of peace. They're the party of war. The American people just elected the opposite of whatever they're doing on so many issues, but especially on the issue of foreign policy and escalating conflict. There's a clear mandate after Donald Trump's rhetoric won the popular vote in 2024, and with 6 weeks to go, they respond with this. A total betrayal of electoral will. You know, democracy, democratic will, and these are the same people who call themselves the Democrats and spend most of their time yapping on MSNBC about how focused they are on defending democracy. Truthfully, these people have no respect for democracy, and they show it through their action. Whether it's blatant voter will disrespect like this, or their talks of axing the filibuster, stacking the Supreme Court, granting mass amnesty to illegal migrants, strategically placed in all the important swing states. Yeah, not exactly the greatest track record on democracy, now is it? And that just scratches the surface. That's not even getting into how they've treated Trump and what they've done to him in their efforts to either unseat him or beat him in the elections. This party seemingly has a lust for power, unlike anything we've ever seen. It's clear that they're representing some sort of foreign ulterior motive or interest here, and they're definitely not acting on the behalf of the interest and the voter democratic will of the people. That's my thought process here. And I'm glad that people are waking up. You know, I'm noticing people like Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan being very vocal about this latest issue. I'm sure people are paying attention like never before, especially considering the environment where the leftist media is dying and independent sources like Rogan, Tucker, and even mainstream sources like Fox News are growing. People are tuning in, people are paying attention to this conversation, and they're realizing how important this Trump victory in the 2024 election was. It was freedom versus tyranny, peace versus war, prosperity versus poverty. It was this new MAGA movement, or the socialist wing partnering up with the warmongering right, and people chose wisely, I gotta say, and it's possible here that the political culture changes for a very long time, because like I keep saying, the legacy media is dying, and guys like Rogan are now driving the conversation, and that's gonna change the playing field entirely. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.